Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, the Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools in Brandon takes pride in selling the tools farmers and tradespeople rely on. Like our Winnipeg location, Brandon carries the same tools you know and love. From all the brands you can trust, all in one convenient place. And with unbeatable service, we'll make sure you get the right tools to get the job done. Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools in Brandon, proud to serve Brandon's industrial needs since 2018. Stop on by today at 358 Park Avenue East.
And we're getting comfortable down here at the Hockey for All Center. We hope you're all settled in for this one, as well as we're, well, not even a Zamboni on the ice right now at the Hockey for All Center. Live here tonight for MFHL Playoff Game Day between the Pembina Valley Hawks, the 6th seed, taking on the 3rd seed in the Winnipeg Ice. I'm your host and play-by-play commentator for tonight, Graham the G-Show Forsyth. Our MFHL Playoff Game Day live streams brought to you by Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, Terrico Goaltenders, and Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. We just played a brand new commercial. It was a part of our commercial series with Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools showcasing their Brandon location. Be sure to check it out if you're from that area or a close drive away, as they're located on Park Avenue East in the city of Brandon. But as for the MFHL playoffs, as we continue to roll along here in round number 1, the Pembina Valley Hawks took game 1 of this series by a score of 2-1 on Tuesday night in the opening night of the MFHL's playoffs this season. As the MFHL playoffs, shout out to Ice Wave Media for the great pictures that they supplied for this poster that we created for the playoffs. But yeah, these are how the first 2 nights of playoffs have gone. As mentioned, this series opened up the postseason on Tuesday, where the Ice opened up with a 1-0 lead, but it would be Pembina Valley who would storm back to shock the Winnipeg Ice, handing them their first playoff loss since 2021-2022. So 3 years ago going on that. That was how long this Winnipeg Ice team was so dominant in the playoffs, but in a bit of a different situation now. Down in the series for the first time since the 2021-2022 final against the Westman Wildcats. As for the other series here, as for some reason we didn't put in the updated version, but the Winnipeg Avros went up 1-0 against the Westman Wildcats in last night's action, 6-3 as you saw, and Interlake falling 3-0 to the first-seeded Eastman Selects, as it was Isabelle Carrier who would end up getting her first career MFHL shutout in postseason action in her playoff debut. So shout out to Eastman, stud of a goaltender who was fantastic for them all season long in her rookie year. As for this game, though, Jessica Anderson looking to be a big-time factor again, as she scored both goals in the Game 1 victory. 4 games possibly remain in this series, 2 for sure, as both these teams going to be in action in Morden on Saturday night. We'll be back in Morden for Game 4 on the 26th. And this a big opportunity for Pembina Valley tonight against a Winnipeg Ice squad who are in some unfamiliar territory right now. They could be even deeper within that unfamiliar territory if Pembina Valley is able to take a 2-0 stranglehold here tonight. And for Pembina Valley, if they're able to come away with the win, not only will they go up 2-0, but they'll have a chance 2 games in a row to close it out on home ice, which is usually not how it works here in this league, but due to an issue with booking ice for Game 2, Pembina Valley couldn't book home ice, so the Ice stepped in and ended up getting a nice slot for this game here this evening. But as for these two teams, a question of will. That was the big storyline heading into this matchup. Look, on paper, the Winnipeg Ice, they're as good as any of the top teams here in this league. And for Pembina Valley, they got some gamers, some game changers on this year's squad, but nowhere near as deep as the Winnipeg Ice on paper. But what does Pembina Valley have that makes them such a sneaky team and has allowed them to go 2-2 against the Winnipeg Ice in the season series and now lead that series overall 3-2? Well, it was them continuing to play hard. They stunned the Winnipeg Ice in Game 1, and big-time players made big-time plays. Jessica Anderson not only putting the puck in the back of the net, but players like Emma Duran for Pembina Valley making it happen with that game-winning assist. Defeated over to her captain Anderson. Cassie Rakowski stepping up with some huge saves from her crease, and overall just seeing countless times where this Pembina Valley Hawks team had no fear and continued to block shot after shot against that Winnipeg Ice team. And the thing that Pembina Valley has to expect tonight is the Winnipeg Ice's best. That's why I put expect their best in this graphic, is because the Winnipeg Ice, I'm sure they're not too happy about not only losing their first playoff game in their last 19, seeing that 18-game playoff winning streak coming to an end, but also just the execution not being there from this Winnipeg Ice team as well on Tuesday night. So for the Hawks, expect for this Ice team not only to get better on their passes, but to come out with even more jump and to give Pembina Valley anything and everything that they can handle. But the plus for Pembina Valley is this is a team that was able to skate with the Winnipeg Ice last game and made things frustrating for them all Game 1 long. And are they able to do it again here tonight? Well, for the Winnipeg Ice, as mentioned, their first playoff loss since 2022. In my opinion, need more quality in tonight's action, as Winnipeg put up over 30 shots in the Game 1 loss, but a lot of shots were blocked, a lot of shots kind of weak getting to the net. So as good as Cassie Rakowski looked in that Game 1 matchup, and as good as Pembina Valley played in the defensive zone, surviving in the end, that wasn't the Winnipeg Ice we were used to. Pucks rolling off of their sticks in tight, unable to connect on passes, being a bit behind their players at points. So just about cleaning things up for Winnipeg tonight, finding an extra gear in your game, knowing that Pembina Valley is not going to give you anything easy. And this is absolutely, in my opinion, a must-win for the Winnipeg Ice tonight, because when you're a favorite like them, the third seed, with already a lot of pressure heading into these playoffs already for you to try to repeat. I know that hasn't been the focus in the room in terms of the past 2 seasons this season. Eugene Kaminsky and this Winnipeg Ice coaching staff very much about their business and staying in the present. But it's a must-win for the simple fact that, one, the next 2 games are going to be in Morden. No matter what in this series, if it goes 4 games, right, it'll end up being played in Morden for Game 3 and Game 4. And if you're a favorite like the Winnipeg Ice are, you start to feel a lot more of that pressure start to creep in yourself when you could possibly be down 2-0, and I feel like for that team, maybe you continue to get nervous, and how would they thrive through that pressure? I think those are some questions that this Winnipeg Ice team would rather not have to try to answer, right? Looking to tie the series up at 1 apiece here tonight to send it back tied to Morden for Game 3 on Saturday night. And we know, everybody, that the Four Nations is going on, the best on best playing right now in the game of hockey in the Canada and USA gold medal final. That one's going to be a fantastic game, no doubt. It could even be a legendary game, but this one here tonight, some female action. We think this one's going to be pretty darn good too. Maybe not quite on the level of Canada USA, but expect a lot of intensity tonight. A loud crowd, and both these teams playing each other tight all night long. It was the Pembina Valley Hawks who came away with the Game 1 win 2-1 on Tuesday night, stunning this Winnipeg Ice side, along with all of the fans that were in attendance for them. Can they do the same tonight in Winnipeg's barn once again for Game 2 of this best-of-5 quarterfinal series? Find out coming up next on your home for MFHL Hockey on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca, as the Winnipeg Ice make their way out onto the ice here very soon. National anthems and the first period coming up next. This is MFHL Playoff Game Day, brought to you by Terrico Goaltenders, Make Canada Fasteners and Tools, and Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Enjoy the game, everybody.
Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools has been the place to shop for your industrial needs for over 20 years. Carrying the tools you need to get the job done from the brands you can trust. Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools.
And if you are tuning in to this MFHL Playoff Game Day live stream, thank you for doing so, MFHL fans. It's Game 2 of the best of 5 quarterfinal series here, live from the Hockey for All Center on the Flynn Rink tonight in this 4-rink facility at the Hockey for All Center. As it's the Pembina Valley Hawks looking to stun the Winnipeg Ice again, trying to go up 2-0 in this first round series over the ice. They've already accomplished something no other team's been able to do throughout the past 2 seasons, which was hand Winnipeg a playoff loss, 18-0 in their last 2 playoff runs. The big-time players stepped up big time for Pembina Valley on Tuesday night. They start again with that top line of Duran Anderson and Captain Abigail Brigg as we are underway here for period number 1. Live from the Hockey for All Center. Apologies, folks, if we're unable to get absolutely everything in terms of in-frame throughout this broadcast since, well, we're up high tonight at the Hockey for All Center. That corner where it's retrieved by a Pembina Valley Hawks player in Victor is going to be probably the toughest angle to catch tonight. It's onto the stick of Jessica Anderson. Played across to Rock off of number 6's stick, and almost forcing a turnover into her possession was Aaliyah Texiera. Dumped in by Jessica Anderson and sent out into the ice zone. D back into the Pembina Valley Hawks zone. Darby sends a pass onto the stick of O'Brien. Cox has that knocked away by an ice player in the neutral zone. So the Hawks forced to regroup once again in their own end. O'Brien tries to one-hand this out, can't quite. Now picked up by Beatty is through the neutral zone. Beatty just before the blue line sends us in, backhanded towards the net where that just goes past. The crease occupied by Gina Plett, rookie goaltender for the Winnipeg Ice, getting her first career start in postseason action. Cassie Rakowski back in net for Pembina Valley. Earned the Game 1 win. Your goaltenders, starting goaltenders, brought to you by Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Be sure to check out their website at GordyTumelsonGoalies.ca. All the way this goes down for an icing. So we're back into the Pembina Valley zone. Talia Jones' line out for the Ice. Cassidy O'Brien, her line out for this Hawks team as she gets waved out of the face-off draw. Perrin took it, lost it to Jones as the ice control. D to Hudson to the net. That rebound not there, so it was squeezed by Rakowski. It's number 35, making what's her first save of this contest. And congratulations to Cassie Rakowski, one of the latest MFHL players to commit to a university. She commits to McKendree University to play ACHA Division I hockey. Congratulations to Rakowski, her family, and all her supporters. As Ella Victor into the skate of Perrin. Perrin loses control of this puck in the neutral zone. Now is cut off by an Ice player. The Ice go off the boards and up to Carvalho. Scored the only goal for the Ice in Game 1. Feeds this to Cairns. Her shot just turned away by that right pad of Rakowski. Cairns back on it now on the forecheck. Sends it down low to Chablik. Tries to fire this into the slot, but blocked up by Victor's stick. Cut off at the point now by Moisey. She can't get that shot through. Another chance. Lazarenko off of the pad of Rakowski into the backboards. That goes as Ella Victor tries to power this puck out of the zone and does just that. But Gabby Robbins back on it. Winnipeg Ice and all the teams in the league give out their own players of the game, and while on their Instagram it was announced that, in the slot, that pass to Robbins, who had a hard-working Game 1, was named player of the game by the Winnipeg Ice. Almost opens the scoring here. Game number 1 as Robbins hard into the corner. Able to get that puck, but cut off. It's like stayed down low onto the stick of Rock. As Rock can't fire this one out. Back down low into the Pembina Valley zone. Giving chase on it, getting to it. Lazarenko circles up to the circle. Can't get that pass to the slot. Is finally sent out by Pembina Valley. A bit of breathing room for the Hawks, but once again, it's the Ice who send this in deep. This man's pass to the point, unable to connect with Texiera. Duran catches up to this puck first, but nice defensive stick by Texiera in the end to eliminate that chance. This first period, by the way, brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Pembina Valley, let's see what they can do now with this top line out. Anderson, her shot. Wide of the net it goes. There's a Duran who gets onto this puck. Duran sends it out in front off of a pad and out all the way through the 2-point girls out for Pembina Valley at the line there. It's a nice play by Brigg. Getting it to herself, bouncing it off the boards, and continues on with it. Brigg takes this puck away. Her shot turned aside by Plett. Rebound not going to be there from the Winnipeg Ice goaltender as she covers it up. So we got face-off inside the ice zone. Won by the Hawks, played down low by Darby to Anderson. Brigg in for support. Takes this puck away. She's along the boards with it, tied up by a Winnipeg Ice player. Brigg will get loose and will pass this to the boards to Duran, who Duran goes to battle with a Winnipeg Ice player. Talia Jones gets this back to Hudson for the Ice in their own end as they look to break out. This left back for a Ice defenseman who had some trouble with that first pass out of the zone. Puck still remains in the Ice zone. They can't get this cleared properly out. Passes into the corner for Arkle. Sends this cross ice for number 16 in McKenna Steeves, who all the way up from her defensive position, now tied up along the boards as the Ice get this loose. Reversing it opposite side in their own end is Carvalho. Nice move to get out of her own end, but pass to Chablik. Unable to find number 15. Stretch pass up to Kay Cairns. Had a nice chance earlier in this period. Unloads a shot into the shin pad of number 6 in Amarok. Puck along the boards now. You can just see some of the players battling away at it. It's onto the stick of O'Brien. Takes it behind her own net. And plays it all the way to Beattie. That'll be covered up by Gina Plett. Stoppage. Coming here with 13:28 remaining in this first period of action. 1-1 is the score as this face-off draw outside of the Winnipeg Ice zone through the skates of Texiera. That one draw went as it gets back to Texiera. Feeds it up to, I believe, Wasosensky. No, that's Wasosensky. Received a pass from number 6 in Chloe Nicholas, who out there with Izzy Mann as well as Wasosensky. Nice takeaway by Mann in the neutral zone. Fires this puck right back in to the Pembina Valley zone. It's for Pembina Valley. Played up the boards, loose to Perrin as Perrin has some room. Feeds this up to number 9. Is dropped back to Perrin. Her shot turned aside by number 30 in Gina Plett. Back out there, Cassie O'Brien to take the draw. Wins this up to Rock. Her shot deflects high into the glove of Plett, I believe, to make the save. She's been sharp early on here. 4-2 the shots in favor of Pembina Valley, with Cassie O'Brien Winning the straw again for PV. D-to-D pass. Emerok just gets it there to Victor. As Victor sent it down low to Sawatsky. Now behind the net. The stick of number 2 O'Brien. Goes to work along the boards against Chablik, but Chablik gets this back down low to Hudson. Hudson receives a pass from Delacroix up to Chablik, whose pass ended up being intercepted in the ice zone, but the Ice able to get it out into the equipment. That goes to Ella Victor. Is given chase to be Delacroix. Unable to hold the line was Talia Jones. Instead works it across to Carvalho, who sent it in deep. Carvalho with the only goal for the Ice so far in these playoffs, giving chase on this puck all the way down, and beating the Ice in there is Abigail Brigg into the ice zone behind the back pass, unable to find the slot as that went off the back of the net instead. Brigg out in front off the pad of Plett. Rebound tried to be whacked away at there by Duran. Not much doing for number 18 as the Ice able to break this out. Stripped away in the neutral zone by Brigg was Robbins. As Pembina Valley works it back down into the ice zone. It's worked across to Sophie Ota, who works this up to Moisey. Moisey's pass, unable to get through the equipment initially of a Hawk, and now all the way down into the possession of Beatty, who plays it up to Duran. Duran into the ice zone. Tries sending it in deep, but couldn't. Now into the slot for wide open Arkle, who flashed in the leather on her. There was Plett. We got a stoppage. 11:06 remaining in this period, as we're gonna make the scoreboard a bit smaller too. In our right hand corner, the Ice just able to get this out. This is back into their own end. Shades of how this period started for Pembina Valley, now creeping into the Ice's game, but they're able to break through back into the Pembina Valley zone. Nice back check by Cox to knock that puck away from Nicholas. Ends up into the crease where Rakowski ends up just covering it up. Pembina Valley in front of their own net. Defending Rakowski with pride as a little two-hander into the back of Wozosensky as she was skating away from number 35's crease after the whistle went. Face-off draw in the Hawks zone. Won by the Hawks, but the Ice hard on them on the forecheck. In the corner, Steves ends up playing this into the shin pad of Cox. Steves gets it back and goes D-to-D to O'Brien. O'Brien's pass off the mark for Arkle. The Ice able to hold this in. Steves backtracks in her corner again to try to work this puck out, but cut off by Hudson. Her shot towards the net blocked up by O'Brien. The Ice a little hot potato with the puck. Can't control it for the time being, as it is the Pembina Valley Hawks who search for ways to break out, and they do. Up the boards to Arkle as she passes to Cox. And behind the play, it's Pembina Valley who ends up taking a penalty. It'll be 2 minutes to O'Brien. So with that, it's the Ice onto the power play for the first time in this contest. Brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Second most power play goals in the league this season in regular season action, but none in game number 1, as Pembina Valley played very strong on the penalty kill. Here, a strong clear out. Rim strong enough all the way past the stick of Lazarenko. Ends up all the way back down into the Ice's end. Lazarenko leaves this for Izzy Mann as the captain for the Ice looks to build some speed down the left side. She slithers her way by, drops this back to number 8, and Wozosensky had that sticked away, as Carvalho now has that taken away along the boards by Sawatsky. Beatty trying to send it out, but not able to get past the skate of Lazarenko. Now Wozosensky takes this away, top of the right face-off circle, shot turned aside by Rakowski. D-to-D. The Hawks go off the backboards, and Beatty with authority sends this out. Plett plays this pass to a teammate in Lazarenko in the ice zone. Lazarenko's pass just able to get up in the ice zone to Cairns, as Cairns circles back and now works her way in with not too much speed, but enough to get this to safety for the Ice. Out in front, Jones trying to get that tipped on net, but a nice defensive play by Pembina Valley. The Ice still control. Texiera shot on the way through, blocked by Steves. It's been a monster in that category throughout this first round so far. In game 2, just like in game 1, the many shot blocks continuing for number 16. As Chase Braun able to stick that away from Kate Cairns and send it all the way down off the boards into the ice zone with 23 seconds left. And the defending champions power play. Stretch pass up to Mann, successfully onto her stick. Mann pulls up, drops this back to Robbins, back to Mann, into her skate, tries getting that back to the slot, but turned over as Pembina Valley looks like they'll survive this penalty kill unscathed. As we go back to even strength. Shots now 5-4 in favor of Pembina Valley. A few shots on that girl advantage for Winnipeg. Some okay setups in there, but overall just unable to sustain that pressure that they wanted in Pembina Valley's end to be able to open up quality chances for themselves consistently throughout those 2 minutes. Gotta credit Pembina Valley for clearing it out with authority like they did. That tipped on net off of a Ice's player's skate. Went wide though. As the Ice work this up, Carvalho looks to challenge Victor, spins up and sends it down low instead in the Hawk zone. Victor able to get this out now. Good bounce over the stick of Lazarenko, but all the way down this goes for an icing. With 7:27 remaining. This first period of action is Ella Victor and Beatty. No, it's Beatty who ends up changing. Victor stays on the ice. Kate Cairns to take the drop for Winnipeg. Won by the Hawks, though. This is D to D to Rock. Up to Brigg, who gets that to Anderson, but Anderson couldn't whack it out. Held in by the ice. That shot from Moisey way off the mark. So it rims around hard enough to Ota, as Ota gets pinned along the boards there for a moment by Anderson. Now loose to Robbins, cut off by Rock, as Rock plays this D-to-D in the direction of Victor. Anderson can't quite get that puck out. This is held in strongly along the boards by Lazarenko, activated up into the zone. In her position for her to cover was Cairns, who was unable to quite hold the line. That ended up in an offside call, as you just saw. 6:51 remaining in this period of action. Izzy Mann loses this as Darby fans on the DDD pass, but was able to get it out to safety for her. Pembina Valley Hawks into the neutral zone, now sent all the way down into the Ice's end off the neutral zone boards. As the Ice turn this back up. 2-on-1 developing here. Nicholas taking it to the net. Nice defensive play by Darby to stick that away, causing a giveaway by the Winnipeg Ice forward and Nicholas. It's turned up now by the Pembina Valley Hawks. Arkel backhand in. A bit of trouble. Actually none for Pletta. She's able to just cover this one up, settling the play down for her Ice teammates. So an offensive zone face-off draw on the blocker hand side of Plett. It's Chase Braun to take it, loses it. D'Italia Jones is off the boards. This goes. Jones tries to whack it out, but couldn't get to the puck fast enough as the Ice try to work it up those right boards. The referee taking a tumble there. Back on her own two skates. The Ice rim this around opposite side, trying to exit that way, but access denied by Darby as she sends this back down low. Hudson spinning away from the Pembina Valley check-in now. That pass almost intercepted, but got to Carvalho successfully. She worked this down low to Delacqui. Delacqui's pass to an outlet girl Went off of her stick all the way down for the Winnipeg Ice's Carvalho. Good effort. First one on it. Went hard to get to that puck. Talia Jones couldn't get a pass off to Chablik. Shot tipped wide of the net there from the Winnipeg Ice at the opposite point now. Sent in deep down low to Carvalho. Behind the back pass. It can't go, but Carvalho still with it on her stick. Got it loose to Chablik. Her pass too short to get to the point as it's cut off by Perrin, but Perrin's pass out, cut off by Cairns. Nice stick from number 12, Hudson. Her shot turned aside by Rakowski. Rebound there for the Ice, but number 35 able to cover things up to send us to another face-off draw here, this time coming up inside the Pembina Valley Hawks zone. Rakowski adjusts her helmet. Gets pats on the back from her teammates, rightfully so. She's been battling hard so far. As tied up on the draw, Robin's stick with Steves is no penalty call from the referee, but it will be an icing that will be called here. Pembina Valley has to keep their players on the ice. The Ice win this draw, sent to the net, denied by Rakowski once again. As Gabby Robbins banks it to herself, almost able to hold on to this, gets it back, now into the slot, that just over the glove of Rakowski, off of a dangerous chance from Kate Cairns. Kate Cairns battles with Victor down low now, spins away from the check-in of number 11, got it to Moisey, up with success to Ota at the point. That low shot blocked in the skates of O'Brien. Pembina Valley works it up in the neutral zone with success to Hildebrand. Hildebrand gets it sent right back to her. Side of the net, sharp angle. That one caught Pled by surprise, as now that worked almost tic-tac-toe to the slot for the Hawks. They're able to hold this in, trying to generate a cycle here. Steves, her shot from the point off of a stick, and it ends up being cut off enough for it not to get to its desired destination. Steves continues to battle in the ice zone, activated up from her D spot. It's now onto the stick of Rock, passes it over to Steves, who now back into her own end. Steves sends this up the left boards to Duran, but just out of number 18's reach as the Ice look to work this puck out. Now Anderson along the boards, lost this in her equipment for a moment as she blocked that clearing attempt out along those far boards, off the boards, all the way out for what should be an icing, yes. Icing called, getting a stoppage here with 3:18 remaining in this first period of action. This play D-to-D to man, who gets it to a defensive teammate in Texiera. Stretch pass up with success to Wozdesensky. Has man heading to the net. Wozdesensky was caught up with a good defensive stick by Beatty. Nice job to poke that puck away in the corner as Anderson able to take it away. Sends it up to Duran. Duran off the boards and no, out into her own bench. 2:47 left on this first period clock. I want to thank you all for tuning in if you are on this Thursday night. As mentioned in the pregame show, we know that Canada and U.S. are playing the best players in the world going at it tonight in Boston. But it's some phenomenal talent down here in the MFHL. Of course, in action here at the Hockey for All Center in this 3-versus-6 series between the home side and the Winnipeg Ice. Back at home again for Game 2 against the 6th-seeded Pembina Valley Hawks. Pembina Valley, as mentioned, shocked Winnipeg with a come-from-behind 2-1 victory in Game number 1. Uncharacteristic of that, this game gets played in the top seeds rink for the first 2 games in a row, but that's the way it is in this series due to ice booking issues. So Pembina Valley, if they are able to come away with a win tonight, going up 2-0 with games 3 and 4, and Morden puts themselves in, I'd say, a pretty ideal situation. But got to work for it here, and both teams still working to get this game its first goal. It's scoreless through almost the first 20 minutes of play. Kate Karen, she puts on the moves, continues, slithers her way through, but just lost it along the end boards. Chase Braun to shut her down in the end as Moisey recovers this puck along the boards for the Avers. Lazarenko in the offensive zone. She can't get that shot through a block. Kate Cairns, what a move again from number 12. Dazzling to the net. Rebound, loose puck there for Moisey, denied by Rakowski. What a shift, what a game so far for Kate Cairns to create that chance, truly. So number 12 remains out there. Crouched over, tired, but continues to motor and continues to win faceoff draws too. Back to Cairns, fans on that shot. That went off of the toe of her stick. Passed up to Duran now for Pembina Valley as they work it in. Anderson heading towards the net. Duran gets it to her. Oh, wide of the net. Anderson goes. Just missing for number 19 there. Would have been her third of the series. She wheels back. No, that's Brigg actually. Has that taken away in the slot. Good defensive sticks by the Winnipeg Ice. Here's Izzy Mann now. Decides to dump this in. Tries to get to the puck first. Tries to pin up Rock along the boards, but couldn't. As Brigg gets that loose to Anderson. Backhand pass. That'll be way off the mark for Durand. This goes down for an icing for Pembina Valley. 43 seconds. 43.2 left on this clock, specifically in this first. It's been an entertaining one, even though it is scoreless. Both teams with some really good opportunities. The goaltending and defense, the upper hand so far here. It's Jessica Anderson through the neutral zone, now into the Winnipeg Ice and attacks Texiera down low with a dangle to Brigg. Out in front to Duran, loose that shot, unable to get through. Nice block by Lazarenko. Huge from number 18 as this chipped off the boards and out for the Winnipeg Ice. Giving chase, Wasilewski can't get to it first as it's Durand who does. Rims this all the way around to Darby. Under 10 seconds left now. Texiera from outside of the zone sends a long shot on net for Rakowski, who will just decide to cover this up at the last moment. Almost didn't, but saw Wasilewski coming in hard. So yeah, I thought maybe it's best to just play this safe and get a stoppage with 1.3 seconds remaining. The Ice looking to shoot right off the draw. Nice play by O'Brien to eliminate that. And with that, we go to the first intermission with a scoreless tie. This first period brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Be sure to check them out. Their only store location that exists in Winnipeg at 995 Milton Eagle Drive. Also check out their website at cancentralsportscards.com. But yeah, back and forth period once again between these two sides. Thought that, the Ice once again coming out as the stronger team throughout this period, as mentioned through that first. But then Pembina Valley started to settle into their game, survived the first wave of that Ice attack, and started to put up some quality chances for themselves. Ended up, of course, going on the penalty kill. The Ice had some chances, but overall Pembina Valley doing the job there. And for a team that's the underdog, up 1-0 in this series, we saw quality chances from their big-time players in Anderson and Brigg, as well as Duran, so they'll be hoping for that to continue. Cassie O'Brien, their leading point getter, with such a strong defensive game so far in this one too. But yeah, you got this Winnipeg Ice team at 0-0, scoreless tie. The Ice sure have looked like they've had more offensive zone time by the eye test, but once again, it's Pembina Valley frustrating them by getting into lanes, blocking shots, making life difficult for Winnipeg when they get into the offensive zone. Yeah, I mean, as for the Pembina Valley Hawks, looking to, of course, continue this good spirited play that they've been playing with in the first 4 periods of this series already. As for the Winnipeg Ice, they'll be looking to up the ante in this period coming up. Kate Cairns dazzled during this period, but was just unable to get what she wanted most, and that would be a puck into the back of the net. The Ice with some better passes in this period, but still with a lot of things to improve on in their game coming up here. Trying to break this tie in the second coming up against the Pembina Valley Hawks. This first period, of course, brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. We're going to send it to some highlights, and then we'll be back here for the second period call, as well as a bit more from this first period of action as our intermission will wrap up. Thanks for tuning in so far, everybody. You won't want to miss the next period of action coming up between the Ice and Hawks up next. Still scoreless after the first 20 minutes. And welcome in, MFHL fans, into the penultimate MFHL Game Day live stream for this 2024-2025 MFHL regular season, live from Seven Oaks Arena on a Saturday night. 2 of the top 4 teams in the league this year going to battle. It's the 2nd seed currently, the Winnipeg Avros, taking on the 4th seed in the Yellowhead Chiefs. There's an Avro trying to spin away. That's Pierre. Ends up getting free and plays it to Wozni. Nice angle. Smooth move by Wozni. Can't connect. Backdoor with that pass into the direction of George. George taken away. Lavely able to get it to the net. Backdoor feed to Pierre. Inner skates, though. Wasn't able to take advantage. Looking for... This was Lavely. Gets her own rebound, but turned aside by Merckx. Yellowhead controls down low. Their first offensive zone possession in a while. Is that a tricky shot for Sylvester to turn aside? As this taken away by Yellowhead again, cutting to the net, but shut down by the Avros. Or maneuvering, rather, away from the Avros, checking before playing this up to Woloski. That shot through screen, scores! Woloski taking advantage of a big opportunity on the rush for the Yellowhead Chiefs to draw first blood in this game accurately. I'd say almost all of it for most of this game so far, but could this be the momentum that Yellowhead needs to get through? Yes, that scores! That goal into the back of the net through the 5-hole Madeline Sylvester, and it's a quick bang-bang for the Yellowhead Chiefs on the scoreboard. Able to just take advantage off of the rush to get past the Avros defense, set up, find open space, and at that time it was Jordan Veach who, oh, that puck almost behind and into the back of the net off of Merckx's back. So with 19 seconds remaining, the Avros play it through transition from their own end as they're able to break in successfully. Amy, her shot scores! Liberty Amy picking that top right corner past Claire Merckx as the Avros finding a second life heading in to the first intermission. Unable to send that through cross ice to Haggard as she gains the zone. Haggard stops up at the hash marks. Tries to power through to the net. No, beautiful pass. Oh, Merckx. What a save in front, denying Wozni. What a feed from Haggard, though. Can't get over how she was able to maneuver through and even get that pass through. As this gets through to the slot, that denied by Merckx in front. Turned wide of the net off of a Chiefs player's stick. As Pierre loses the puck, picked up by Lavely. That shot scores! Kelly Lavely picks the corner, tie this game up. Deflects wide of the net as this almost another successful kill for the Chiefs. Maybe not here. Oh, what a defensive play by number 5. As this kicked out to Lavely. Backdoor pass! Oh, just denied by Merckx. Was Pierre on the front door. It gets onto Hotson's stick. Plays it up to the point. That shot blocked up huge by the Avros as it's Sydney Haggard sending herself the other way. Has Wozni with her, but Haggard dangles. Oh, denied by Merckx. The recent York University commit shuts down number 8. That pass able to get through to Speechley. Dangles through Speechley. What a move, but nice defensive effort by the Yellowhead Chiefs defenseman. No icing called on the play as a few players blowing a tire. This in advantage for the Avros as Leah Clausen scores! Avros go up by one, 3-2 the score with a minute 31 remaining in this second period of action. Either one of them is that unable to get deep. The Avros looking to stretch the ice. They do. It's to Wozdy. Coming back hard. It's Kirk Wozdy. Unloads. Getting her own rebound, but Merckx denies her twice. Into the Avros end. The Avros not able to get anything really going here so far as this turned over onto the stick of Gray. She entangles off the post. Almeida might have just gone a piece of it. As it's Liberty, Amy ends up going into the shin pads of Hodgson. Amy loses her stick. Tracking it as a Chiefs player who's denied by Almeida. Wishing Sylvester speedy recovery if she is dealing with something. And now, oh no, an Avro blowing a tire, blows one again, a Shortridge 2-on-0 developing, Gray Dangles denied by Adriana Almeida, what a save! Up one more goal, then that could very well salt things away in this one, but the Chiefs still with the chance. This puck gets loose to Maxwell, she's behind the Avros defense, oh, glove save by Almeida, just catching a piece of that one. Been experiencing a bit of glitches with the internet tonight for some reason. As Pollock looking for a wraparound, Almeida shuts the door on that right post. Out of their own end here to get an extra attacker on, which would make it technically even strength by the numbers into the low slot. That shot denied, wide of the net it goes. As the Avros work it through again, Clausen denied again by Merckx. But the Chiefs able to shovel it out. One more chance, huge block by Liberty Amy. She clears it out for one final time in this game as number 17. A huge play in the defensive zone at the end there, sacrificing the body, the shin pads. She opened up the scoring in this game, ends up being on the ice until the very end.
Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, the Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
And welcome back to the Hockey for All Center here in the Flynn rink tonight as the Pembina Valley Hawks make their way back out onto the ice. The Winnipeg Ice will follow here. 0-0 scoreless tie after the first 20 minutes of play. 8-8 the shots, so dead even in many categories here so far tonight. As Pembina Valley will be at the far end attacking to the close end of our broadcast angle during this second period. This period will be brought to you by Terrico and goaltenders. Gina Plett gets the start, her first career playoff start here in the MFHL in her rookie season. Looked pretty comfortable throughout that first period. Same with Cassia Rakowski. Both teams were able to get in on the opposing goals in tight to create chances, but both teams' defense holding up here, as well as their goaltending throughout the first 20 minutes. Felt that for the Winnipeg Ice, their best player throughout that period was Kay Cairns. They're going to need their other top guns to get going. So, I mean, you got to love that from Cairns. Got to love that high five, that handshake, whatever you call it, between Grunwald and Plett before Plett makes her way to her crease for this period. A huge game for the Winnipeg Ice here tonight as they look to not go down 2-0. Pembina Valley looking to put them down in a 2-0 stranglehold. Heading into Game 3 in Morden. Game 4, if necessary in this series, will also be played in Morden, Manitoba. Both these teams looking for a bit more space to open up, but will it during this second period of action as we're underway. Winnipeg Ice get this into the Hawk zone. Gabby Robbins loses this along the boards, gets to Emma Rock, who her pass just out of the reach of a teammate for the Hawks on the breakout attempt. Ota steps up from her blue line position. Down low, gets rubbed out along the boards by O'Brien. As another Ice player takes a spill, that's Cairns. Is Pembina Valley able to send this all the way out and all the way down into the ice zone? First one on, and Cox takes a bad spill into the boards. It's because of the stick of Robbins. A trip-in penalty coming up here. And for the first time tonight, it'll be the Pembina Valley Hawks who go to the power play. For this one, will be brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. We'll see what the Hawks can serve up here. Pass down low, cut off by Delacroix. That tipped out by Jones. Clutch stick there from number 17. It's into the Pembina Valley zone onto the other number 17 stick, and Briga. She gets hounded there by Jones on the forecheck. Nice job by O'Brien to clear this out of her own end, but got cut off by Hudson, who sent it all the way down deep into the Hawks zone. Darby now loses this in the sticky ice. Chavlik shot almost gets past Rakowski. Loose puck there. Ice trying to bang it home, but can't. Now it's man. Can't get that past Rakowski. And what's the call going to be here? No goal, as the refs are calling it. The Ice were celebrating. Rakowski regains herself as well. Or collects herself, as I should say. As for the Winnipeg Ice, really good start to this penalty kill for them. The most disciplined team in the MFHL this regular season, with only 170 penalty minutes. Well, when they get shorthanded, they can create, like we're seeing here. Man sent that on net. Rakowski turned it aside and covered things up to settle things down once again for Pembina Valley. Down at ice level, the Winnipeg Ice faithful. The cheers getting louder here. So they look to fully turn momentum their way. Cox with other plans, though, chips this to herself off the board, sent to the net. That deflects up high, but Plett able to cover things up. And settles this down for her teammates. It's the Ice. All they'll do is get a fresh set of D out onto the ice. Same with the Hawks, as well as changing to their first power play unit. As that shot in rebound, oh, just hops over the stick of Duran, as she was right there to take a good whack at it. It was the Ice who were able to get it out. Huge for this Winnipeg Ice squad right now. This Hawks team continuing to get more and more dangerous through the first 2 minutes of this period so far. 35 seconds remain on the power play. Hand it off to O'Brien. O'Brien's pass down low to Duran. Off the mark for her. Over to Darby. That pass too hard up to the point for Anderson to cradle on her stick. Anderson, a good awareness. Waiting for everyone to be on side, and they are now. Anderson drops this back. Lost it instead. Almost gets it back in her feet. That now high slot for O'Brien as that shot turned aside off of a block. That to a point going. Brigg now, whose shot blocked up by Kate Cairns. As we are back to even strength. Abigail Briggs still at the line. Sends this down low to Leah Clausen. The Hawks trying to get on this puck again along the boards. Hudson battles along with it. Plays it off the boards. D to D to Delacroix. Delacroix catches up to it. Stretch pass connected to Moisey, but Moisey stopped in her tracks and couldn't cradle the pass. So chance goes out the wayside for this Winnipeg Ice team. Passed up to Rock, who chips this in to the ice zone. The Ice turn it over, and now back. Talia Jones trying to maneuver her way through with a dangle, but couldn't get through that stick of a Pembina Valley Hawks defenseman. Perrin now battling at her own blue line, trying to send this puck out. She did, but the Ice sent it right back in. As Ella Victor Gets this puck that was left there by her goaltender and Rakowski. Rock takes a heavy collision along the boards. No penalty this time as Pembina Valley looks to break out. The Ice with other plans, holding this in and sent in deep again by Talia Jones. The Ice continuing on the forecheck here as pressure continues to mount for them. Puck ends up all the way back into the ice zone now. Nice clear-out attempt. That is successful for Pembina Valley. Lazarenko fanned on the initial pass, got it back up to Carvalho, who skates down the left side. Carvalho to the net off the stick of Rakowski. Stays in play. Thought it might have went off into the mesh. As that this time will be called for an offside. So with 15:37 remaining in this period, bring our other period sponsor onto the screen. And goaltenders get a good look there at Winnipeg Ice rookie goaltender Gina Plett. Tapping both her posts. Goaltender's best friend, which we haven't seen any ring off the post so far here tonight. As Texiera jumps up from the line, but had that puck taken away. Cox able to send it out into the neutral zone, but cut off by Izzy Mann. Mann off the board, sent in deep to the Pembina Valley zone and given chase. Mann almost first one on it. Perrin got there instead, but the Ice able to force a turnover. Back down low to Mann into the high slot. Wozdesinski has that knocked away off her stick. Mann from in tight, turned aside by Rakowski. Puck cleared up by Pembina Valley. No icing called on the play. Texiera first one back on it. Scanning behind her to see where the pressure will be coming from. The Ice able to send this out off the boards. Now Beatty cuts it off in the neutral zone, sends it D as Steve sends it in deep. Plett slows this up just a bit along the boards. Got to Texiera, turns this up over the boards though as it's into Pembina Valley's possession. That shot through, turned aside by the pad of Plett. Brigg spinning away from the check-in now in the corner. Mohawk in to protect this puck. Brigg sends this across to Darby, who activates into the zone. Shot wide of the net. Steves mishandles that, attempt to chip that in. Moisey almost getting to that puck first, but a nice back check by Pembina Valley, and the crowd responding to that with enthusiasm. It's a loud cheer for the PV faithful as Brigg, unable to get that on net, tries to pass it to the slot, but cut off by Lazarenko as she's able to send this all the way out the ice right now. Maybe an offensive chance here for Carvalho. Strips away a player of that puck in the PV zone. That pass up to the point. Didn't stay in the zone, but got all the way into the neutral zone to Lazarenko, who sent it in deep. That stretch pass up now off the stick of Anderson, turned over to Lazarenko. She maneuvers her way in. That shot might have went off of the post and into the end boards this time. It's Talia Jones at the point. Unable to hold the line. Chablik back to Ota in the neutral zone as Ota down the right side. Shielding this puck from Sawatsky. Plays it down low. So it's rimmed around to Carvalho. The Ice looking to get this offensive cycle going, but hard pressed right now as this gets to the slot. Nice move, Chablik! Oh, that save made by Rakowski. Denies her in tight. Another chance, Rakowski, another save. As the mayhem continues in the Pembina Valley zone. Across to Hudson, that shot through. Rakowski scores! 1-0 Ice, as it's Hudson who puts her team on top to start things off in the scoring department at the Hockey for All Center tonight. 1-0. The defending champs lead. Well, we saw it a few shifts earlier. The Winnipeg Ice able to get a great chance on Rakowski, which ends up resulting in multiple rebounds. The last sequence like that, Pembina Valley was able to survive, but this time, all the pressure from the Winnipeg Ice pays off. Gets loose to a wide-open girl at the slot, and Hudson, who's able to send a shot through with traffic in front of the net, too. Was that goal brought to you by Terrico? The Ice start off another game with another lead. What will they be able to do with it this time? Will they be able to extend it, or will the Hawks find a way to come back again? That pass attempt to the slot off the stick of Rakowski as the goaltender blocked that well. Delacqui in deep for the Ice. Rock played it D to D. The Ice forced a turnover down low, trying to play that pass to the slot. It's now on the stick of Chloe Nicholas as she sends that into the corner. As Nicholas in for support now. She takes a spill. Same with Chase Braun, Beatty, as well as Robbins also in that corner. It might actually be Wozosensky, but no matter. It's the Hawks who work this into the Ice zone, giving chase. Leah Clausen lays the body on Walker. It's along the boards to Perrin now as both teams battling away. Multiple Ice players and multiple Hawks players all in that same corner. It's the Ice who come out victorious. Rimming this around. Wozosensky has her stick taken away, lifted by Steves. As this favors Pembina Valley, turned over into their possession. That pass a bit behind number 16, and Steves did well with it. Sent it in deep as given chase will be O'Brien on the forecheck. Hard on Walker, now a few Hawks hard on Wozosensky. They create this turnover, forced up to the point. That shot unable to get through, blocked up. Arco was looking for a tip. Sends that pass down low to O'Brien. Back up top to Steves, unloads a shot. That pinballs off a few players in front, but doesn't get to his destination in the end. Turned over now, hard forecheck continues for the Hawks, but that shot turned aside again by Plett. As O'Brien sends this out of play and finally gets some breathing room for just a moment for these two teams. Take a moment to catch your breath. Get right back to it. Intense first round coverage continues here in this series specifically. So even though the Ice are up 1-0, it's been a good pushback here from Pembina Valley. Anderson's tipped attempt ends up just wide of the net. Is played up the ice. Has a player taken down. That's Cairns who got taken out. No penalty coming on the play. Very surprising there is Eugene Kaminsky, and the Ice bench livid with the no call. Up to Anderson, cross ice in the neutral zone. Sent in deep for Pembina Valley. Lazarenko on it first. Delayed offside for the Hawks, so they're unable to continue to keep the pressure up once that puck got into Winnipeg. Then sent in again by Pembina Valley as they go off for a line change. It's Lazarenko's pass. Stretched but blocked up by number 6 in Rock. Player losing their glove, and Jones as the Ice have to get back to defend. Hildebrand heading to the net. It's O'Brien off the side of the net. Emerged from the corner. Try to get that shot on net. O'Brien just decides to take this out of the offensive zone now to regroup. The Hawks sent down deep again. Plett awaiting that potential puck to get into her crease, but it never got there. Pass out of the zone picked off by O'Brien. The Ice have to defend again. Darby, her shot blocked up by the shin pad of Lazarenko. It's this Italia Jones chipped all the way out and given chase now. Will Jones get to it first to beat out the icing? No, but the icing waved off as Sawatsky is able to get there and fend off the Ice player. This all the way down to the Pembina Valley Hawks zone for an icing now. Or into the ice zone for a Pembina Valley Hawks icing, as I should say. So we roll along in this period. With 9:01 remaining. Draw one by the Ice. Play D to D. Hudson to Delacqui. Delacqui is pressured by Hildebrand, so her best option just to send that down low. Sent to the corner. Chablik recovers this puck. Spins and fires towards the direction of a teammate in Carvalho, who's tied up right now with Darby. Darby gives her a bit of a shot afterwards in the back with a bit of a two-hander. The Hawks who send this in deep. Sawatsky goes off for a change. Upon sending that into the ice zone, Carvalho off the boards, but not out. Cut off by Steves at the point. Sent down low again from Pembina Valley. The only problem right now with Pembina Valley's a game plan. Well, not too many problems with it actually, as they have been able to force some really good turnovers and create some really good chances. creating those turnovers off of the forecheck, but been a lot of times throughout this period, too, where the Winnipeg Ice have been able to win the battles to the pucks. The races to the pucks. But for Pembina Valley, the plan here just to try to tire out the Winnipeg defense to the point where you start to get all over them in their own end. As Walker stands up Cox at the blue line as Cox tried to make her way down low to that puck she sent in. Controlled by Pembina Valley now at the point. Now to the left face-off circle for Arkle, who's turned aside by Plett. And if you are just tuning into this one now, everybody, thank you for doing so. Proud to be your home for MFHL Playoff Hockey once again this season. The most wonderful time of the year in the MFHL. As Lazarenko, her pass up in the neutral zone off the body of Cairns. As Robbins gets tangled up with Beatty in the Pembina Valley zone to Cairns, low slot denied by Rakowski. As now there's some pushing and shoving going on between Rock and Robbins. As both teams clear away from each other. Winnipeg Ice faithful continuing to beat those drums. They're noisemakers for tonight. Beat to the drum rolls on for this Winnipeg Ice team in this period right now, up 1-0 with an offensive zone face-off coming up once again as that got sent right back into the Winnipeg Ice bench. 17-15, the shots in favor of Winnipeg. Kate Cairns to take the draw for her Ice teammates as Cairns loses this to number 19 and Anderson in the corner. Ice able to almost turn this, or force a turnover as it went off of the stick of Cairns. Pembina Valley trying to work their way through the middle of the ice zone, but unsuccessful. That pass from Moisey well behind her teammate, and Robbins down for, icing call on the play as the refs feel that Robbins got there quick enough, did enough to negate the icing. Pembina Valley trying to send this out. They can't. Hudson's shot at the point blocked there by number 17 in Brigg. Hudson opened the scoring in this one with the only goal of the game is down going hard. Duran gonna beat Hudson to this icing as Duran able to get this puck now into the slot. Oh, that pass just off the mark for Anderson as the Ice able to break out again down the left side. Carvalho sends this in deep. Wins positioning, body position in the corner on Anderson. This gets chipped all the way out back into the ice zone. Carvalho backboards to Hudson with that pass. High stick potentially coming up here for Pembina Valley, but the Ice touched that puck up first. As down below being pressured by two Hawks players, the Ice able to maneuver with a good pass off the backboards. Chablik gets taken out. Ends up losing her stick and changing with Steves. She ended up getting her stick back. Carvalho into the Hawks zone. Up to the boards, Texiera. That shot through, turned aside by Rakowski. So once again, Steves in front of her own net. Boxing out the opponent afterwards. With that offensive zone face-off draw. For the Ice once again, won by men. Texiera has down low into the right corner. For Wasosensky right back. Tic-tac-toe set up from Wasosensky to man. Back to Wasosensky. Back to Texiera. Now tipped on net. Oh, just wide of it. It goes on that rebound. As the Ice continue to swarm all over the Hawks' nest right now. In the corner. Emma Rock behind the back pass to Ella Victor, who plays this puck up. Oh, wait. Hit something on the way through, which didn't allow for it to get near the blue line. That pass to the slot. Oh, getting her up high afterwards with the Hawks player and Emma Rock, as it'll be I believe Chloe Nicholas, who draws the penalty. That's coming up here to the Pembina Valley Hawks. Number 6 in rock. So with that, it'll be a Pembina Valley Hawks penalty kill in a Winnipeg Ice power play brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. Be sure to check out their website to find out why at terrico.ca. Down low, it's Robbins spinning away from the check-in below the goal line. Now up to the point for Texiera, sends it right back down low, though, into the corner. Fortuitous bounce for Pembina Valley as they're able to clear this out. They got into their possession, sent in deep by Pembina Valley. Now legal past the red line for no icing, since this is a PK for the Hawks. 4 minutes on the clock now. Texiera left that for Chablik. Initially, Chablik finally does get that pass on her stick. She works her way up, shielding this puck away, muscles through, passes off to Cairns. Cairns up to the point to Texiera, across. Oh, that tip from the slot, the bumper position, high of the net. That goes for the ice, but they still continue with possession. Texiera from the point again, blockered aside. That chance by Rakowski. Texiera holds the line again. Monster shift for her on this power play. As for Pembina Valley, they do finally clear this one out. It's all the way back down into the ice's zone. Carvalho is going to leave this for Mann as she swings down low. Behind the net, now into the neutral zone. Mann drops it off in the Hawk zone, handed it off to, I believe, Wasisensky. Back to the point, Lazarenko. To Wasisensky again. Her shot wide of the net. Stretch pass attempt out on the clear for Pembina Valley. Cut off by Wasisensky. Held at the line by Delacqui. That shot, Lazarenko, the one who took it, went wide of the net. As Pembina Valley trying to push this puck out. They just do, but cut off by the Winnipeg Avros, or by the Winnipeg Ice, and sent back in. Izzy Mann, her shot gloved down by Rakowski. And with a minute remaining, or 2 minutes and 32 minutes remaining in this period, a second left on the penalty to Emma Rock. 20-15, the shots in favor of the Winnipeg Ice, with multiple chances on this girl advantage. This draw will be won by the Winnipeg Ice. Face off. Draw win brings this penalty to an end, though, for Pembina Valley, as we are back to even strength. As Pembina Valley working their way in. 2-on-1 developing, but that pass in the skates of O'Brien. It was Cox who sent it over to her. It's in the corner. The Ice able to work this out. Anderson gives a shot back to Carvalho there. Vicious from number 19 in the neutral zone. No penalty called. Refs letting him play there. Under 2 minutes remaining now. Chablik, turnover in the slot, forced into her equipment, blocked it up. Took a weird spill afterwards, goes off for a change. Is the Ice able to send this in deep? Back into the Pembina Valley zone. Pembina Valley right back into the Winnipeg zone. With that dump in, as Carvalho, short pass up to Cairns. How's that cut off? So now it's to Claire Hudson. Hudson back to Delacqui. Settles this down. Up to Kay Cairns. Cairns whacks this in to the Pembina Valley zone. This is back in the neutral zone. Hudson, the lone goal scorer in this game, sent this in deep. So Pembina Valley works it up the right side. Out into the neutral zone again at center ice. That glove down by Victor to a teammate. I'm not sure who that is. Darby, I believe, flipped it all the way down into the ice zone as we're into the final minute of play here in this period of action. Brigg looking to create something. Sent it to the net, but blocked up into the Winnipeg Ice shin pads. As that pass out, unable to go. Anderson sends that pass to the slot, but unable to connect with Duran. Got disrupted, deflecting off of a Ice player's skate, or their stick, in Moisey. It's Cairns now, nice dangling. Cairns unloads a shot, deflects wide of the net. That time, Ota, first one out along the right side boards in the Pembina Valley end, plays it down low where an Ice player is tied up. Anderson for Pembina Valley trying to get this loose from out of the congestion. Under 10 seconds remain in this period now. Man now into the fold. The attack to try to get this puck out. She does finally get it loose, but time runs out. Man still got a shot off. Ended up missing the Pembina Valley net. And with that, the Winnipeg Ice, like in Game 1, it took longer for them this time to get it, as they scored in the opening period of Game 1. This time, to open the scoring, they score about midway through, close to it, of the second frame. Came from relentless pressure from the Winnipeg Ice in around the Pembina Valley net, and ended up getting a nice pass connected to in the slot for, or I guess at the point, near the high slot for Claire Hudson, who wasn't the prettiest goal number 3 has ever scored, but hey, she'll take it for sure, as looked like it was able to just get past Rakowski. As shots after this period of play, 21-15 in favor of the Winnipeg Ice. Throughout this game, I mean, there's been some space, but overall both of these teams really just doing a good job of getting back to take care of their responsibilities, which are in the defensive zone, hard on the back check, and just tight checking all around in the corners, along the boards. Teams really having to work right now to create separation for themselves. I think for the Winnipeg Ice, if you're them, you're heading into the final 20 minutes of play with a 1-goal lead, 20 minutes away from securing this game to win and sending it back to Morden tied. If you are the Ice, I thought their puck management was pretty good in their defensive zone. Plett continues to make good saves, but overall, I think throughout that period, spending less time in their own end too. Pembina Valley's chances mainly coming off of the rush. They were able to get some cycle time in there, as we saw in the end. And Pembina Valley, once they were able to get the forecheck and cycle going, they became a way more dangerous team. So for the Winnipeg Ice, you know that's going to happen. You know that Pembina Valley is going to play you tighter and tighter, get their legs going better and better as the period goes along. So how do you shore up in the defensive zone moving forward to stave off this attack? And how do you continue to keep creating offensive zone time, as Winnipeg has had the advantage in that category with just a bit more compared to their opponents in the Pembina Valley Hawks. But continue to go hard to the net if you're the Winnipeg Ice. Any chance you can get, fire as many shots as you can when possible, and good things will happen, as we saw for that first goal of the game by Claire Hudson to open up the scoring in the second period of action. We'll be going into the third period very soon here. We're going to show you some highlights coming up from our final regular season broadcast of the year in the MFHL. This period was brought to you by Terraco, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry, and to Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. What's going to happen in this next period, folks? Well, I think there's going to be some drama, a lot more tight checking, and just patiently waiting to see if the Winnipeg Ice can hold on to this 1-goal lead as well, heading into period number 3 here, coming up from the Hockey for All Center. On your own for MFHL Playoff Game Day on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. This is game 32 of this regular season this afternoon between the Selects and the Chiefs, the Yellowhead Chiefs, that is. And this MFHL Game Day broadcast brought to you by Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, Terraco, Goaltenders, and Canton Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Hepner trying to maneuver away from the pressure, gets it up to the point to Haas. Haas' shot tipped on net, denied by Johnston. Thank you for tuning in on this Super Bowl Sunday, by the way, everybody. Let us know what your favorite Super Bowl scores! Right as I'm talking about the Super Bowl, it's a super goal for number 19 and Danielle Hepner. DeCallie Remillard plays this over. Lexi Remillard. Over to Hepner as her shot ends up deflecting off the pads of Johnston. Onto Callie Remillard's stick now. She circles up, rebound there, scores! And is it Danielle Hepner again? I think it just maybe makes this a 2-0 lead for Eastman Select squad. Trying to get this down low. It does go to Heidinger. Tries to locate in the slot. It gets there. That shot not able to go through. Now Heidinger banging away at it. Scott Cook unable to put that in back door, but up to the point it goes. Chloe Carrier's shot just getting a piece of that was Gracie Johnston to clog the wall up. Sent down low. Now ends up to the point for Rose Cochran. She tries shooting, but fans on it. Ends up onto Hepner's stick. It's number 19 with 2 goals already. And this 2-0 lead kicks it out. That shot on net off the post, scores! A hat trick for number 19. As she completes the natural Hattie to put Eastman up 3-0. Are you kidding me? But taken away by Eastman again below the goal line. Worked up to the point. Haas, her shot, looking for a tip set in the net. Hepner denied. Rebound there. We're back to even strength. Still banging away at it. Eastman shoveled in front of the net again, but turned aside by Johnston. Veach sends this below the goal line for Pollock. Pollock tries to protect this puck. Now out in front, loose in the slot. Despiège-Lair unable to whack away at it. That's a great job by Eastman to converge on that. Labossiere makes a heads-up save off of that deflection as they go off for a change. 1:14 remaining in this period. This chipped up by Maxwell, but unable to get to it first as Lexi Remillard back in her own end. This stretch pass up, connects, offside, not going to be called. Heidinger dangles and scores! Into the opposite corner by Sophia Heidinger, the most recent goal scorer in this game. Now Vader Rigaud plays it to the net, gets it with a great hand eye out of the air. Face off, won by Eastman up to Lexi Remillard. Her shot through deflects wide of the net off the stick of Schroeder. Dixon gets it off the boards to the slot. That shot scores! Isabella Carey makes it a 5-0 game. Cochran up the boards, turns this over to Rigaud. Ends up back in the neutral zone. Gray able to get a step. Gray in, has her pocket pick. Great defensive effort on the back check by Blake Hawes as she got a stick in. Off the stick of an Eastman player back down to the yellowhead zone. Is this taken away by Scott Cook? Nice stick, high slot. Cook sends it towards the net. Rebound there, whacking away at it. Delaney Rigaud, but ends up under the pad of Gracie Johnston. So it's over to Heidinger now. Works her way in. Heidinger as she stick handles and stops up now near the point. Heidinger dangles past Taryn Knight. Able to shoot, scores! And inaccurate shot, a rip from number 16 in Sophia Heidinger past Gracie Johnston. Extends this lead to 6-0 for the Eastman Selects. On this grill.
Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools has been the place to shop for your industrial needs for over 20 years. Carrying the tools you need to get the job done from the brands you can trust, Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools has you covered. Brands like Milwaukee Tool, established in 1924 and on display in our Milwaukee Red Zone, the largest red zone in Winnipeg. With construction workers and tradespeople in mind, Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools is your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. So come on down to our Winnipeg store location today, located on 1557 King Edward Street in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools and Brandon takes pride in selling the tools farmers and tradespeople rely on. Like our Winnipeg location, Brandon carries the same tools you know and love. From all the brands you can trust, all in one convenient place. And with unbeatable service, we'll make sure you get the right tools to get the job done. Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools in Brandon, proud to serve Brandon's industrial needs since 2018. Stop on by today at 358 Park Avenue East.
And welcome back to the Hockey for All Center, heading into the final period of regulation in this Game 2 of the best of 5 quarterfinal series between the 3rd seed Winnipeg Ice taking on the 6th seed Pembina Valley Hawks. Pembina Valley leads this series 1-0 after winning Game 1 on Tuesday night in Winnipeg by a score of 2-1. They're down in a familiar place once again, even though last game it was tied at 1 apiece after the first 40 minutes of play, but Pembina Valley went down in Game 1, stuck with it, and kept coming at the Winnipeg Ice, and ended up being rewarded with 2 goals down the line in that game after trailing to start off. In this game tonight, hey, I thought that their forecheck was really strong during that second period. They forced a lot of turnovers in the Winnipeg Ice zone, got quality chances, passes into the slot, but just unable to get those quality chances on net, right? Those quality shots that would be good enough to beat a goaltender like rookie Tendy in net tonight for the Winnipeg Ice and Gina Plett, who's been really solid, has looked really comfortable making all 15 stops on 15 shots against so far. As for the Pembina Valley Hawks, in the defensive zone during that period, the Winnipeg Ice found ways to overpower them in front of their net. Rakowski did all she could do throughout that period to try to keep the game scoreless, but the Ice would finally mount enough pressure, just enough to be able to get a wide open pass up to the point to Claire Hudson, who put it in the back of the net, just beating Rakowski on a goal I'm sure number 35 would like to have back, given that it didn't beat her the cleanest. But yes, as for these playoffs, as unfortunately we were unable to get our updated bracket in, but the Chiefs in their game tonight against the Brandon Wheat Kings, currently down 3-1 against Brandon, as that would be huge for the newest franchise in the MFHL to be able to get off to the 1-0 series lead, given how much travel there is between those two teams during that series, about 4 to 5 hours in total. Game 2 for that series goes in Brandon over the weekend. Back into the ice zone here to start off this third period. Anderson's pass just missing her teammate in Duran, as Duran plays this up in the direction of Steves all the way down into the ice zone. No icing called on the play as Texier, a nice job to protect this maneuver along the boards to get that puck out. Just sent in deep by Pembina Valley. So Darby cuts it off at the neutral zone ice at center ice. This will be picked up by Walker, sent in opposite corner, and trickles all the way to the side of the net where Rakowski in the Hawk zone covers this one up. This top line out there for this Winnipeg Ice team, centered by a man, won that draw to Nicholas, whose pass to a point girl ends up off the mark. Too much for Walker to handle. Arkle, nice forecheck for her. Blocker save made, or rather off the right arm of Plett on that dangerous chance from Pembina Valley. Winnipeg looking to chip this out and go. Puck gets loose. It's up. Oh man, just went offside on that stretch pass she was waiting for from Chloe Nicholas. The Hawks find some open space to break this puck out to O'Brien. O'Brien challenging down into the ice zone as that shot right into the red basket of Gina Plett, who continues to look very comfortable in this one. Very comfortable indeed. Her 17th save of the night. 21-17. The Ice lead in the shots now. 1-0, they lead on the scoreboard. Claire Hudson shielding this puck on the backhand behind her own net before going D to D. So this gets sent out, turned over As both teams play catch for a moment, that poke pass, number 3 in Hudson by Perrin back into the ice zone. The Ice with a bit of trouble maneuvering this puck down low in their own end. They're able to work it up though now. That pass just off the mark, off the stick of Carvalho and into the boards. Chablik has that knocked away along the boards, but puck held in by Hudson. Tip to the net, side of the net, trying to search for that loose puck with Jones, but a nice stick-on-stick play from Rock to eliminate that chance. Backhand DDD pass over to Victor from Perrin. Up to Clausen, who sends this in deep. Leah Clausen given chase, but won't matter that much for her in that instance as Hudson got to it first. Back in the Hawks end. They're able to flip this out off the boards. O'Brien turned aside by Plett. As Hudson and Lazarenko go off for a change. Get some fresh D-legs out there for this Winnipeg Ice squad. The O'Brien line stays out for Pembina Valley. Draw will be tied up and won by Pembina Valley in the end. They're in the face-off circle. That shot from Steves off the stick awkwardly of Plett. It ended up into the backboards. The Ice trying to chip this and go. It's Robbins who muscles her way through. Has Moisey to the slot. That shot turned aside. Loose puck there for a rebound. The Ice crashing in the net. Rakowski wraparound chance denied by O'Brien as Cairns couldn't beat her to the post. Rakowski lost her stick. Was out of position to make what would have been a really tough stop on that wraparound, but that clutch stick from Cassie O'Brien paying dividends. Now here, Brigg over to Anderson, shot wide of the net there, number 19. A captain so close to potentially tying this one up. Has it back to Brigg. That shot turned aside. Sorry, the captain for this Hawks team is Brigg, not Anderson. As for the captain for this Hawks team, sent that on net, tipped on net by Duran, turned aside by Plett. That shot from a corner from Anderson misses, but the Hawks still able to maintain possession of it for the time being. Now into the Ice's possession as they work this to an outlet girl. Skating through the neutral zone now into the Hawks zone. Was Asensky's shot turned aside by Rakowski. Shaking off her pads afterwards. Huge save there from number 35. Into the feet of Arkle. Tough for her to receive that pass. Oh, it's over cross ice to Carvalho in the neutral zone. Plays it up the left side and muscling her way through is Nicholas to win the puck battle initially, but couldn't win that puck race down low to get to it first by Victor. It's back down low to Nicholas now. Tries spinning away from the check-in. Almost got a pass cleanly to the slot there for Carvalho. Carvalho works away at this down low. Turned over into the slot now onto the stick of O'Brien. His number 2 skates it up. Kicks it out to the outside to Cox. Cox tries to chip it off the boards and go. O'Brien ends up clogging up those boards to force a turnover. That shot turned aside by Plett. Beatty's shot now blocked and into the net, and it goes out of play. Courtesy of Chablik shin pad there. So with that face-off draw, should be inside the ice zone. Well, it'll be a Pembina Valley Hawks or an ice timeout. I'm not sure. Either one. But either way, both of these teams taking a little bit of a breather here to recollect themselves. Of course, Pembina Valley surviving multiple attacks by the Winnipeg Ice as they swarm their net there a few plays ago now. But for Pembina Valley, they've stayed the course and they've continued to play hard on their own end throughout this game. There's been a miscommunication with which line is going out. It's Anderson's line who's out with the captain and Abigail Brigg, as well as Emma Duran, tied up in the face-off circle. Puck trickles out through both Pembina Valley D as Beatty circles back and sends this in deep. She activates in the zone to continue in on the forecheck, but the Ice too quick on their puck movement. Quickly moving this out now. Chaplik sends this cross ice. Nice offensive stick by Darby to take that pass away. Sent in deep now by the Ice and into the direction of Chaplik, but Rakowski out of her own net to play it. Chaplik goes stick on stick with Beatty to get this puck into the slot for number 12 in Cairns. As Pembina Valley makes their way back into the ice zone, circling up top is Brigg towards the net, loose puck there, but Plett able to smother it and cover it up. 14:02 remaining now on this third period clock. Plett, fantastic concentration from number 30. Was a dangerous chance from Pembina Valley, getting more of those as this period goes along. Loose puck, tie up on the face-off draw. It's a bad bounce off the boards in the corner there for the Ice. Turned over into Pembina Valley's possession. Pembina Valley keeps this down low. An Ice player fends off the stick of Clausen. Now Clausen getting a bit physical with the Ice along their bench. It'll allow for Perrin to get this puck right back in, but Moisey plays this D-to-D with success. This gets played up now into the neutral zone, off the skate of Kay Cairns. As the Ice still have possession of it. Lazarenko drag, shoots, fires, trying to get to the rebound, but just unable to, as Rock was able to clear it away at the last moment. Rock takes a hack there on her arm from Robbins. No penalty coming up on the play. Let's break out pass over to Perrin. Perrin can't send that cross ice. It was blocked up. Robbins, or Wasisensky, tries to muscle her way through. Got stopped up just enough by O'Brien. So it's sent right back into the Winnipeg zone. Turnover, Arkle! Oh, that shot wide of the net off of a deflection. Another pass attempt to the slot, or to the point that time for Pembina Valley. Cut off by the Ice. As Winnipeg's able to chip this in. Darby, first one on it, rimmed around, but cut off by Texier, who activated into the play from her blue line. As this played up to Cox. As Cox, just before the blue line, sends this in deep into the ice zone. This turnover forced down low by Pembina Valley. Good forecheck. This Hawks team still going strong in this third period of action. As for Texier, just past the red line, sends that in deep. His first one on it, Ella Victor. As Victor reverses this behind the back pass to a defenseman, D-to-D and Beatty. Stretch pass up to the neutral zone. Brigg circles back into her own end before firing it up to Duran. Duran sends this puck in deep after losing a handle on it. Good stick check from the Winnipeg Ice as the Ice look to work this out up the boards now, but it's Anderson who gets this puck back on her stick, sent into the slot with that pass, but misfired, turned over. So the Ice blocked it up well. Forecheck now for the Ice, trying to get in on this puck, but Victor able to play it up to Duran. It's to Cairns, to Chaplik, to Carvalho! Shot turned aside by that left pad. Number 35, Rakowski, shot from the point. Good concentration from Rakowski. Chaplik missing completely on that rebound chance as she took a big whack at it for what was a strike for her. So Brian tries to chip this in up the left boards, but hit an object, unable to get there. Is this tipped on net, covered by Rakowski? Chaplik is going hard to the net and lost an edge on the way through. Steve slow to get up too. Rakowski regains her balance as well. So with 10:52 remaining in this third period of action, Chase Braun to take the draw against Kay Cairns. Cairns tie up on the draw with Braun. who gets this loose first. It's the Hawks who do. Played back down low to Emma Rock. Rock able to play this up the boards to her D partner in Steves. Drop that off to Perrin. Perrin tried getting back up to Steves. So this gets sent all the way back down low into the Pembina Valley Hawks zone. So it's rimmed around to Leah Clausen, who her pass unable to get out of the zone. Pickpocketing is Lazarenko Dangle. Oh, what a save by Rakowski, sticking out that right pad to make it. As this still stays a 1-0 game. Lazarenko thought she had her beat. With access denied instead by number 35. Could that be the turning point Pembina Valley needs to truly tie this game up and to make it that much more interesting here on this Thursday night from the Hockey for All Center? O'Brien lost this in her skates. Perrin now trying to chip this up in the neutral zone, but it's the Ice who contest. Almost able to get that puck in, but taken away by Cox as Cox sends this in deep. First one on the puck. Good foot speed from number 10. She gets this up to the point to Arkle. Arkle tries sending it down low, but instead into Cox's possession. Over to Darby. Her shot turned aside. Rebound there, but Plett covers it up. High in her crease. With just under halfway remaining in this third period of action. Would not be surprised if we saw this game go the distance of overtime tonight either, everybody. Unless the Ice are able to close things out in top tier fashion here. As Beatty's pass to Cox. Bit of trouble for number 10, but able to continue to work with it and gets it past Talia Jones all the way back down into the Winnipeg zone. The Ice up the boards to Carvalho. As that ended up not getting out of the Ice zone, but Carvalho ends up drawing a penalty. A trip coming up here on the play. Called after the play. So it sends the Winnipeg Ice onto their third girl advantage of the game here tonight. Brought to you by Mid-Canton Fasteners and Tools. The Hawks have done a good job of keeping the ice to the outside for most of this game effectively. Can they continue to do it here on the penalty kill? So they really need it here. As that through the legs behind the back pass. Unable to connect with Nicholas in front from Walsh Sensti. Sent all the way down by Pembina Valley as Plett way out of her net to stop that up just a bit for Lazarenko. As Lazarenko fed that pass to Mann, who skates her way through the neutral zone. Now into the offensive zone, but stripped away by Brigg. Good defensive stick there from the captain and number 17. That pass, have to be careful if you're Plett. Brigg right there to intercept it, but nice defensive stick from Winnipeg Ice, able to take that puck away and send it all the way out, all the way back down into the Ice zone now, as that puck hops up over Texeira's stick. Over 8 minutes remaining in regulation. The Ice set this up, cross ice out. So it's Delacroix gets taken out along the boards. Thought she'd maintain her balance, but did not in the end. So no call was called on the play, and Braun able to muscle Chablik off the puck and send that all the way back down to the Ice zone. Really good penalty kill continues here for this Pembina Valley Hawks squad. As Texeira kicks it to herself. The Ice, barely any offensive zone time during these past minute and 30 seconds. Now it's Texeira who looks to draw one herself. Got taken out. But no penalty called here on the play, as a strong move to the middle there by number 2. Gabby Robbins emerges from the corner. Robbins, nice drop pass to Texeira. Tipped on net, Chablik! Oh, at the doorstep, sends it wide. So close to extending this to a 2-0 lead for the Ice. The Ice get it right back on the forecheck, down low as we are back to even strength. It's Robbins, still protecting this puck, off a skate. This gets down towards the net. Chablik sends it wide. It's a got to her stick. She was at the front of the net. It's that long shot turned aside by Rakowski. Left for a teammate in Rock, who sends it up to Hildebrand with success up the boards. It'll be Lazarenko chipping this one up. Lazarenko unloads a shot, blocked up by Rock. Oh, some explicit language there too from Rock. That one a stinger. That shot turned aside by Rakowski from the high slot. Oh man, I remember taking shots like that and the skater in the shin pad. It was never fun when they catch you in a bad spot. And Rock, a warrior-like effort to finish that shift strong, goes back to the bench for a much-needed rest here. They'll need her in these next 6 minutes. Pembina Valley still a very real possibility that they could end up tying this game up if the Ice unable to capitalize on their opportunities soon. Maybe Pembina Valley starts to sense the momentum turn. Been points throughout the period where it looked like they would turn the momentum, but just haven't been quite able to break through this Ice team tonight, as offside called on the play. Eugene Kaminsky playing referee from the bench, putting the arm up, trying to get the ref's attention to call that offside, and they did indeed. Call it this time. It's this tie up on the draw, won by the Pembina Valley Hawks. Beatty just before the blue line sends this all the way in deep. It'll be cut off by the Winnipeg Ice. So Winnipeg able to get this in. Chaplik, first one to the puck. Carvalho in the corner, taken out by Beatty. The two of them still tied up with each other. Now they do break free of each other as Anderson stretch pass all the way to the Ice blue line, all the way down for no icing on the play. Thought it would have been called, but that's not the case. So the Ice work this out again. Player gets taken out, and Cairns' penalty coming up. That's Carvalho, actually. As a trip coming to the Pembina Valley captain and Brigg. Carvalho must have went down awkwardly there, as she's still slow to get up. As Carvalho gets attended, and no, she is back onto two skates by her own power, it seemed. So with that, hopefully number 16 is okay and can shake this off. I think more importantly for Winnipeg, when you see an injury like that late in game, you're hoping they're okay for the next game, right? And for the remainder of the series, especially when a player like Carvalho has been so important to the Ice's success up front this season. As it's the Ice back onto the power play. Brought to you by Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools. The Ice had some really great shorthanded chances in that second period against Pembina Valley to really create pressure. Can Pembina Valley get the same here? In a desperate time for them. With under 5 remaining in this game, still trailing 1-0. Hudson, the goal scorer, sends this towards the net, onto the stick. Wolosinski tries to drag that to the back end, but couldn't get it to that spot. As Chase Braun unable to get past Lazarenko into the corner for Chloe Nicholas. Nicholas up top. Another penalty coming here for the Pembina Valley Hawks. That shot unable to get through. It'll be a 5-on-3 coming up here. With 4:12 remaining. And who's going to be going to the box here? It's going to be Ella Victor. Believe the penalty was taken in front of the net. Victor not too happy about it, continuing to plead her case to the linesman, but the way it is for Pembina Valley, as Two key players in the penalty box for them right now. Winnipeg with the most space they've had all night to work with. Carvalho from the point. That shot unable to get through. Huge block from Pembina Valley. Huge cheer from their bench too. Another block. It's Darby who off the board's able to get that out. 48 seconds remain on this 5-on-3 before we go to a Winnipeg 5-on-4. Texiera to the slot. That shot can't be unloaded on by Wasilewski. Bobbled it a bit. Fanned on it at that. Wasilewski gets it right back. Up to the point to Larenko. Fake slap shot over D to Carvalho. Tipped on net from the bumper position from Wasilewski. Turned aside by Rakowski. Nice setup by the Ices. Trying to do as much as they can to take advantage of this open ice that they have. For 11 more seconds at 5-on-3 as an offside called on the play. So with that face-off draw to the outside of the Pembina Valley zone, just beside their bench, as Pembina Valley wins this. O'Brien been strong in the face-off circle all night long. Their team, though, unable to clear this puck out, held in by the A's. 5-on-4 now as Hawks player gets on the ice to make it 4. 5-on-4. As Cairns gets this back to Hudson. 3 fans on that pass. To Carvalho, I believe. That pass up the right, all the way down for what should be an icing. No, Robbins, the effort of her diving down just beats that out. The refs have let a lot of those go out the first 2 periods in this one, and it continues here in the third. Robbins taken down hard in the corner. O'Brien just unable to get it out. Break runs into O'Brien now. Maybe she was trying to give her a push to give her a bit more speed heading out of the zone. Nonetheless, Break gets it back. Has O'Brien with a stretch pass opportunity, but covered up too well by Hudson as she cut off that pass beautifully. Brigg now sticks this away, passed up onto the stick of O'Brien. Now she's loose. We're back to even strength, of course. That shot turned aside. And another one from the point, high of the net. Plett looking upwards, seeing where it was going to land. Lands beyond the goal line, now out in front again for the Pembina Valley Hawks as they're unable to work that to the front. As it's the Ice who get this loose. Wasilewski in alone. She breaks through to beat. Rakowski scores! Number 8 with her first career playoff goal. A huge one. As we stand right now, it looks like that will be the insurance goal for Winnipeg tonight. In a game where it's been very back and forth, as mentioned, timeout called now by the Pembina Valley Hawks, I believe. It's a 30-second timeout, but that goal brought to you by Mick Cannon Fasteners and Tools. The Winnipeg Ice, they just seem to have a knack this season. No matter how much you pressure them in the defensive zone, and the chances they give up, able to get the key saves in this one, key defensive plays in their own end, and with Pembina Valley pressuring that whole left side of the ice, Winnipeg was able to break out with success, passed it over to, I guess, their left, our right from our perspective, to wide open Wasilewski, who built up her speed through that neutral zone. Only her and Rakowski to beat as she got in alone on number 35, and with a nice 5-hole goal. An accurately placed shot to beat Rakowski, and that goal brought to you by Mick Cannon Fasteners and Tools, 2-0 in favor of the Winnipeg Ice, with a minute 22 remaining in this third period of action. Rakowski, she thinks ahead into the bench. Now she will. This will be Abigail Brigg who comes out for the extra attacker. No, Anderson instead. Pembina Valley has to be careful. This all the way down. It will be for an icing. But the reason they had to be careful there was Rakowski stayed on the ice while Anderson already took off. Looked like there was some miscommunication from the Pembina Valley bench too, as Brigg thought she was going. That same door Rakowski went through. Reverse grip on this face-off draw for Jessica Anderson. Pembina Valley under a minute remaining to try to work some type of magic to somehow give themselves a chance to come back here, but no, it looks like it may not be meant to be for Pembina Valley as the Ice work this into their zone. Down low, puck along the boards. 4 Hawks players in that area. It's worked over to Brigg. As Brigg looking to skate this up. Lost a handle on for a moment, but catches up to it. Draws a penalty here to Lazarenko with 26 seconds remaining as Lazarenko takes a spill into her net afterwards. And with that, not much time to work with left in this game, or at all coming up on this power play. But it's going to be a 2-goal advantage for the Hawks here, given that it'll be a 6-on-4 with their goaltender pulled. Lazarenko into the box for tripping. Brings Midcannon Fasters and Tools back on the screen. Gotta win the draw here if you're Pembina Valley, if you want any chance they're able to get possession of it. You need to work this to the net quick. You can't keep it outside, but it stays there. Rims around to Duran. She'll keep this down low to Arkle. Gotta send it to the net, PEV. That blocked up by a good stick by Hudson. Great game from her tonight. Started off with a goal, continued on with great defensive plays, and what a night for the Winnipeg Ice. They bounce back to even up this series at 1 apiece, heading back to Morden for the first time in the series on Saturday night, as Gina Plett, rookie goaltender for this Winnipeg Ice squad, comes away with the shutout in her first career playoff start. Hats off to her along with the rest of this Winnipeg Ice team. You want a championship level response? Well, that's what we got here tonight. Of course, Winnipeg still having trouble of breaking through and opening the floodgates offensively in this series. But look, Pembina Valley played them tight all game long here again tonight. The Ice able to muscle their way through, play with even more intensity than they did in their Game 1 loss. Didn't stop skating throughout this game and just continued to work and work for their chances, and were finally rewarded with a few. With some big time saves from Rakowski again tonight for Pembina Valley. Pembina Valley, got to be proud again that you were able to skate with a very talented Winnipeg Ice team and give them another scare here. Like, this game wasn't easy for the Ice. They had to work for every single one of their opportunities. And you got to think in that dressing room, like, if you come away with another loss tonight in a game that was as tightly played like this, just continues to play into your psyche in a negative way, right? So I think it's a huge monkey off the back for this Winnipeg Ice team tonight. Maybe we start to see them open up things even more moving forward now that they are, well, they were never out of the series, but in it closer than ever now, as it's now tied 1-1 between these two teams in the best of 5. The Brandon Wheat Kings ended up defeating the Yellowhead Chiefs tonight to get to a 1-0 series lead. As Brandon won 3-1 in Shoal Lake tonight. Huge win for them. Long travel back for Brandon as they got about 4 to 5 hours of travel time. Won't be getting home until after midnight for their players. But yeah, full results after Game 1. Of course, the Avros and Selects grabbed 1-0 series leads last night as well. And now this series knotted up at 1 apiece. As game number 3 goes Saturday afternoon in Morden, 4:30 p.m. G-Show Productions hoping to have, well, game 4 of that series covered next Wednesday. Gonna be a dandy. We got Avros and Wildcats coming up for game 3 on Saturday night. We'll have a day off tomorrow in terms of MFHL Playoff Game Day playoff live streaming. But we will have the MFHL the MFHL podcast airing tomorrow on our network, which should be great. But yeah, my final thoughts from this one here tonight. Like I said, huge win for this Winnipeg Ice team. A win that they truly needed. You go down 2-0, especially since this team hasn't lost a playoff game up until game 1 since 2022. You go down 2-0 with how tight the series has been played, with how little the margin for error has been. And you just have a lot of pressure put on yourselves, and every game becomes a must-win, right? So for a team that struggled to put the puck in the net at a high level so far in this series, the second most highest scoring team in the league, this win, even though it's another close game, winning 2-0, they'll definitely take it. I think for the Pembina Valley Hawks, you got to keep your heads up after a game like this, right? Like, you got to know, you pushed this Winnipeg Ice team once again. Yes, you trailed in the shots 34-24 or to 23, but you had your chances, you had your looks, they were there. But like the Ice in game number 1, the puck luck and just the execution for Pembina Valley, not as great as we saw it on the at 1 apiece now. As 2-0 final here tonight. We'll get into the players of the game, brought to you by, well, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia for the losing side, which is the Pembina Valley Hawks. Whose game did I like tonight from Pembina Valley in this game 2 loss? Of course, the top line always stands out for them. You know, they had some players all around that were working pretty hard in this game. But you know what? I'm going to give it to Cassie O'Brien, number 2. I really like Cassie's attention to detail in her defensive game here tonight. She actually saved a potential goal on a wraparound in that second period that the Ice almost had on them. And yeah, she was solid in the face-off draw all night long. Was really good in the defensive zone, and that good active stick of her was also creating in the offensive zone. And Pembina Valley's leading point getter throughout the regular season, along with the rest of her team, snake bitten at points here tonight. But hey, back to the drawing board, and for O'Brien, gotta be pleased with her game tonight, even though the Hawks end up losing. Player of the game for the Hawks brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Be sure to check out their website at cancentralsportscards.com, as well as their store location at 995 Miltz-Eagle Drive. As for the Winnipeg Ice, their player of the game here tonight, that'll be, well, you know what? We are going to give it to, why not? For McKenna Fasters and Tools player of the game. In her first career playoff start in a tough spot here tonight. Had to be big time down the stretch too with some key saves. Gina Plett, everybody. Second rookie goaltender in her first career MFHL start. To get a shutout as Isabel Carrier for the Selects accomplished that yesterday. But Plett, just like, she's a rookie goaltender, and she just looks so comfortable and so sound in her play tonight. Nothing really fazed her when things started to break down. At certain points, she kept her cool, her calm and composure, and that's all you can ask from your goaltender, especially in a must-win game here for the Winnipeg Ice, which they went out and got, and shutout victory nonetheless. Congratulations to Gina Plett on earning her first career shutout victory and her first career MFHL playoff start. Brought to you by McKenna Fasters and Tools for that player of the game. Your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs here in the province of Manitoba. Be sure to check out their store locations in Winnipeg and Brandon, as well as their website at mccanadafasters.shop. As for the rest of the playoffs this week, action It's going to get going again tomorrow on Friday in Hartney as the Avros will be facing off against the Wildcats. No other teams will be in action. All of them will be getting the day off, and we'll all be back in action on Saturday as all 4 series will be going then. As for this one tonight, though, everybody, the Winnipeg Ice, in a must-win for them, ended up getting it. Battled hard, battled tough against a very sneaky and tough Pembina Valley Hawks team who played with a lot of energy again tonight, but it wasn't enough to get past the Winnipeg Ice this time, the defending champs' first win of the playoffs. Tie the series up at 1 apiece. Thank you to Terrico Goaltenders, McKenna Fasteners and Tools, and Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia for sponsoring another edition of MFHL Playoff Hockey Game Day here on G-Show Productions. And a special thanks to you, the viewer, as well, for tuning in. We'll be back on Saturday night for more MFHL Playoff Game Day coverage in Warren, Manitoba for Eastman and Interlake, and on Saturday night for the Avros and Hartney for Game 3 at Seven Oaks. I've been your host, Graham, the G-Show Forsyth. From our crew to yours, everybody, have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful and safe weekend as well, and thanks for tuning in. Ice take this one by a score of 2-0 to even up this best-of-3 quarterfinals 3 versus 6 series at 1 apiece. Good night, everybody.